What is up, ladies and gents? It is your friendly neighborhood BJJ podcaster, Rafa Esparza, coming to you with another great installment of the Bullpen. It's the finale, y'all. I don't know if you are as excited as I am and also as confused. We'll get to that in a second, but we have some friends joining us today, and I cannot believe that we have probably the handsomest panel in all of the PGF. We have one person really starting to make things even handsomer than it was expected, and that is not Kevin Sherrill. It's actually Jason Anik. Jason Anik, what are you doing here, sir?
That is the question of the day. What a pleasure to be here with you boys. I was a little intimidated sitting right next to handsome Kevin, but I think I'll just have to figure that out as we go along. I'm blown away. You know, I was just saying to Kevin, I grew up on football, basketball, baseball. The UFC is certainly a big part of my life, but I'm blown away here. We've seen 120 matches in 4 days. Now it's down to the final 8. Give me all of this. I can't get enough of this. I don't think it's annual. I think it's seasonal, so I think we get another one of these before next year. Give me all of this. I'm all fired up.
Well, you have done an excellent job. We wanted to bring you on because we wanted to give you some more shine this week, sir, because it has been great having a fellow professional broadcaster to bring up the average of people like one handsome Kevin Sherrill, who's been an athlete a little bit more than a commentator in the past 24 hours.
Yeah, it's been a busy time, man. I like to do both, but usually not so crowded together like this, but it certainly has not been a boring week for me. It's been fantastic to be out here. This is a madhouse. This is what we love about the PGF, man. You never really know what's going to happen, which, yeah.
Let's preview that, and we'll get to that in a second. Let's go ahead and pull the group of us together because it's time that we actually throw to the submission of last night. Yes, 100% is in this finale. So very excited for that. Gentlemen, why don't we go to the board right now and we get to the topics at hand. Very excited to have you guys joining us. The first prompt is this. Wait, what? In the past 2 hours, we have seen changes go up and down. Kevin, what have we seen that has changed? What is the breaking news that you have for us right now?
It's pretty hard to break it down and look at how it all happened because it happened very fast, very chaotic this morning. There were shakeups in the bracket with certain individuals getting sick, certain individuals not wanting to take part in the bracket for various reasons. And all of those alerts were coming in at random times where we kept sliding people in 1 through 8, go, okay, wait, what's the first round? Okay, and it looks like we finally have our final bracket, from what we can see, fingers crossed, and it'll be Ryan Aiken and Nathan Haddad first round, Paul Ardia and Elijah Carlton, Marcin, I'm going to destroy his name, and David Cesare, that's the one, and Chris Wojcik and Ernesto Rivera first round, which I like the way it all lined up, man. Those are matchups I really wanted to see. It's going to be a fantastic first round.
Okay, Jason, I have to come to you. You say you're the new guy here, but we need your love and support. You are the baseline. How are you taking all these last-minute adjustments when it has been very overwhelming throughout the week?
You know, I love the buzz around this sport, right? I feel like, you know, you get these alerts on your phone, right? I got Egghead texting me, right, that Thomas and Bain are out. And I responded to him. I was like, what is it? They don't want that Aiken smoke, right? Is that what it is? Everyone avoiding sort of the boogeyman. But no, I do think Travis Thomas is ill. And certainly Kyle Bain, I'm not going to speak ill to him. You can be sure. I just met that guy. I haven't even met the guy, but I just was in his presence this week. I want no ill will toward him. But it's fascinating, right? The guys that come in, Nathan had it. I just saw him shock the world. I know he maybe not shock himself, but in that 8 spot, you never know. This is jiu-jitsu, and I don't know everything about this sport, but I do know stranger things have happened. Davis Asari, who slots in, he actually alluded to the fact that no more 205 for him. Yes, more 205 for him. So I'll be interested to see what he does with this opportunity, but now that we're down to a bracket, little heat, I'm a little sweatier than I was yesterday.
You don't look it, sir. I mean, I got to tell you this. Hearing your passion makes me more passionate about what it is that we do. So I'm glad that we're winning you over. I'm so happy to have you joining us. I want to get to our next topic, though. So we alluded to who's involved in the playoffs, but I want to now get into any kind of early predictions you might have. Jason, do you have any early predictions that you'd like to make for how this 8 play out today?
Well, it's interesting. I said to BMAC earlier in the week, I can't wait till we can bet on this stuff. I wonder I think Ryan Aiken may be a prohibitive favorite, but as much as Ryan Aiken was sort of the last guy in the draft and everyone's sort of waiting on him, Marcin Marsulewicz, the Polish Punisher, I tell you what, right? I mean, he is ripe and live, but a lot of these guys, I think, are tactical, right, and put themselves in a position to sort of succeed today. Elijah Carlton, BMAC alluded to it being a spa day, whatever it is. I don't know if that's the case, but I think he is live in that number 5 spot. But I would be surprised if the cream doesn't rise to the top and the champion doesn't come out of those top 2.
All right, Kevin, what are your thoughts, sir?
I'm super interested. I think Ryan Aiken has to be the favorite. He might have the best EBI overtimes in the world, might be the best specialist at that. And it's not something that he necessarily needs to rely on. The stall calls are still live. And the pace that Ryan can put on now for a 10-minute match, I think we may see some people disqualified. If you pick up 3 of those stall calls, there is no overtime. It's going to be a very interesting time. People that are often critics of the EBI overtimes don't like that you can stall for overtime. You can't. Not today.
Good stuff.
Appreciate that. All right, now we're going to go on to our next topic, which is a recap. How did we get here? There's a lot of stuff that's happened. Maybe you didn't see anything. We have the unfortunate challenge of trying to tell you as much as we can in 1 minute. So, Kevin, you got some time on the clock. Godspeed. Try to tell people what they missed this week.
You missed a lot. You missed a lot. Guaranteed, because I've been here trying to not miss anything, and I missed a lot. You guys at home, unfortunately, only see what the camera shows you. You are missing about 80% of the action out here. That is not your fault. You have a life. I've dedicated my life to jiu-jitsu, and it comes with the consequences of having to spend a whole week with these guys. It's been fantastic, though. You guys have missed out on, we'll say, cookies from Shamanic Vibrations sitting out here in the back. He's had a little cookie business running this whole time. You've got all of the energy. I got to have conversations with these guys about, like, those of you at home that are wondering, why did this happen? Why is Kyle Bain out? Why is whatever? I've been able to have conversations with these guys and go, where was your head at? Why didn't you send that submission? Why didn't you whatever? If we recap it, Ryan Aiken dominated. Everyone else chased him down the whole week, didn't quite get there, and we found ourselves at the end with a beaten and broken, half the rosters beat up because we had so much action. BMAC told me that there was a guy on Reddit who does the watchability and action statistics for jiu-jitsu. And he said that was day 3 was the most action-packed and watchable event by that man's statistics in the history of jiu-jitsu. We made history this week.
Somebody from Reddit can never be wrong.
Can't be wrong.
I'm going to go on over. Jason, I'm going to give you a little extra time here, but in 1 minute's time, can you give me the best of what you've seen here this week, sir?
Well, I will say, right, I do believe the cream rose to the top from a standpoint that I thought yesterday, and I know we've had a couple people step out, but the top 8 really, I believe, were there, right? That you take these 20 guys, I believe we had it down to the best 8, right? And so what I'll say is if you talk about a recap and what you're going to miss, right, Kyle Bain and Travis Thomas, you are going to miss those dudes tonight because those dudes to me made a lot of noise here. And I think this 205-pound division, right? You see certain guys take the floor and it's like, or the mat, whatever. It's like, see, listen to me, take the floor. I don't know what I'm talking about. But, you see these guys take the mat and they look bigger than some of the other guys. And I will say another thing you missed this week, a lot of injuries like Dorian, Adam Bradley. I'm sure I'm forgetting. There are a lot of these guys that are getting banged up. This is a real deal. This top-level competition. So I guess those are some of the things you missed and will miss tonight, but I just can't wait to get into this top 8. I think it's going to be day 3 was incredible. I think day 5 is going to trump it all.
Beautiful. I'm going to get you out of here in a second, but I did want to ask very quickly, does anybody do an impression of you or your brother?
An impression?
Yes.
Whew.
Do you hear them often?
So my friend Ben Davis, I learned about him because my wife showed him an impression he did of my brother. But, I won't curse here, but you mess around and find out, right?
No.
So I'd be happy to hear one, right? I'd be happy to hear one.
It's not even.
But I'm doing an impression of my brother right now. Am I not? Do I sound like him?
No, get out of here.
Sound like him? And but I will say this jiu-jitsu world, right? I walk around here. I don't know who knows. I don't know how much crossover is in these worlds. I know a lot. Joe Rogan doesn't know who Patrick Mahomes is, right?
Right.
There's a lot of crossover, and there's a lot of people that stay in their own lane in this stuff.
The reason I bring it up is, as a fellow broadcaster, whenever I hear him talk, I occasionally hear your brother do what I consider the most respectful laugh there is in all of broadcasting, because he does the very quick ha, like in and out whenever he does the laugh, and it doesn't get in anybody else's way. And now I find myself doing that so that I don't overcrowd what they're saying,
Well,
just to
I
kind
love
of
it.
throw it
And
in.
if we get to work together more, if you hear me laugh like that, you will know that is genuine, right? That
It's
is that is
true.
a
It's
genuine.
your
It has
actual laugh.
evolved into a quick one, but you can be sure that's a real laugh.
Well, Jason, you were a great addition here. I appreciate you. I got to get you back to Fantasy Island, though, sir. Thank you so much for your time, and it has been a pleasure seeing you here, sir. So please get on back there. We love you, buddy. All right. Sliding out is one Jason Annex. Sliding in is one Matt Elkins, the Beast, the Savage. He's a good-looking guy, too. We got a really handsome panel today. Matt Elkins, how you doing, brother?
I'm doing fantastic, Raph. Thank you for having me, Kevin. It's an honor.
Well,
It's a blast, man.
listen, dude, there were a lot of rumors that you were about to get in there. How close were we potentially to seeing the Matt Elkins out on that mat?
I would say that the people definitely were upset that I wasn't able to step in. You know, I had a very serious salsa dancing incident yesterday, and so I was unable to step in. A bit of a laundry mishap as well. So handsome Kev did what he does, saved the day, and a really entertaining match from our boy here. Thank you for saving the day, Kevin.
Appreciate
it,
that.
man.
Well, gentlemen, let's go to our next topic, which is some awards. We want to give out some unforeseen awards. For example, you could say that, yeah, Sebastian had the best speech, the post speech of the week. But do you have any other awards that you can hand out, whether it be from the action on the mats or elsewhere? I'm going to start with you, Kevin Sherrill.
Yeah, I'd like to give an award to Bobby Bopham, Stephen Eakin, because when my boy Paul Ardea overstepped and put blueberry-flavored coconut water's name in his mouth without some respect, he needs to get my drink's name out his mouth. When he came for blueberry coconut water, he came for us. And Stephen Eakin was right there with the mic to step in and say, "No, sir, that's my drink. I'm feeling it."
Appreciate that. Let's now go on over to you, Matt Elkins. Do you have any awards to give out, sir?
Yeah, I'd like to give a golden wheelbarrow to Davis Asari for having a huge set of nads, for stepping in here with a ripped off foot. I think he returned to the next match against Kyle Bame. Obviously, as the last season's main regular season winner, he definitely could have taken a little time off and just decided to come back and played at his weight class. But he stepped out there, complete gangster, and completely earned my respect. Obviously, he's an incredible jiu-jitsu practitioner, as you guys have seen. But, man, how tough is that guy?
Love that. Thank you so much for that. I also want to give a big acknowledgement. I know we kind of previewed it earlier in the week, but as a fellow broadcaster, fellow host, big shout out to Alex Wendling, because she made all the way from Polaris to here. That flight is brutal, and yet she brought her normal, awesome, super bright, super entertaining self and was killing it with all the athletes. And it was so incredible to have her here. She has been a great addition to the PGF staff, and it's just one of those things where I always like cheering on our own. I know we cheer on the other athletes, but I want to cheer on the other broadcasters when they do great work over at Polaris. So big shout out to Alex Wendling. Great, great work as always. Let's go to our next topic, which is the unsung heroes. So this is a little bit different than the awards. We wanted to give out awards for most savage, the best. The unsung hero, maybe the people you don't think about who behind the scenes are making this all run, or the unsung heroes of the competition. I'm going to come to you, Matt Elkins, to go ahead and start this off. 1 minute on the clock.
Yeah, I want to give a quick shout out to our production crew. These guys, a lot of them have been involved with the PGF when it started literally in a gym in Decatur, Alabama, and now we've got a world-class production team. So definitely want to give a shout out to those guys. And I also would like to give a shout out to the referees, man. I think that the referees caught a lot of flack this season with the stalling calls and things like that. And it's just really, really a tough job. As you guys have probably been paying attention, the nucleus of jiu-jitsu is kind of changing. Some of the rules, some of the what people want to see, what rule sets we're championing and things like that. And these guys are out here trying to make sure that the rules are implemented the right way. And it's a very unique thing that's happening here. I thought they did a really good job, and it was a really tough task. And I know that some of the coaches were jockeying them hard to get stalling calls and stuff like that. And so I wanted to give them a shout out real quick.
Appreciate that. Kevin, yours.
Yeah, I'm also going to give a shout out to members of the production staff. I think a lot goes into this production. I think this is the best production in jiu-jitsu. It's incredible. Years ago, I told BMAC he was a little worried about people stealing his rule set. And I told him, man, it's not the rule set that makes the PGF. It's the people. It's the people that get involved in this. They throw their heart and soul into it. So I got to give a shout out to people like Cody, Becca, Drew Foster, Kai, Keelan, Isaac, Miggy, Ben, all you guys. You guys deserve a little bit of airtime as well. You guys deserve that acknowledgement. Great work, guys. We're not quite at the finish line. Fantastic job.
Absolutely. And big shout out to our buddy Tim Freeman, who is unfortunately ill, but we wish him well. And we're now going to get to one of our last topics. This is best stuff. So, gentlemen, I'm going to give you 35 seconds to tell me the best of this week. So, Kevin, I'm going to come to you. Do you have any matches or moments in terms of competition that stick out to you, sir?
Yeah, it's been a long week, so I think we lose sight of some of the better matches, more interesting moments that happened. I'm going to bring us all the way back to day one of the first matches, Kyle Bain versus Ryan Aiken, where Ryan passed his guard several times in dominant fashion and displayed this. And Kyle Bain stuck with it, rallied, adjusting to a new rule set, and did very well. And the entire time, both were farting. It was amazing. It was absolutely hilarious.
You know what? Thank you for that information. Yep.
The production picked that up. It was
thank
so
you.
funny.
Thank you. The great reporting we're having you do here. Matt, I don't want to waste any other time. 35 seconds for you, sir.
How do you veer off of the subject of Ryan Aiken when you say the best of? I believe he scored over 50 points in the regular season. Just a crazy performance in the quote-unquote modern era of the PGF, where there are only, I believe it's 12 matches instead of like 24 matches in the first seasons. I believe Elijah Carlton technically owns the single-season point-scoring record, but what a performance by Ryan Aiken. Super happy to see that guy continuing to crush it. And, I mean, just a scary – they wanted me to grapple that guy coming off the couch at one point. I was like, you're going to throw me in there with Ryan Aiken off the couch, brother? I'm going to sit here with Hodger Grace. Don't mind me.
All right, Kevin, you have 1 minute to talk to us about your best of plus or minus moments. So the plus or minus moments are those point differentiums for the individual team members and how much they provided their team. So 1 minute on the clock. Let's see you do it.
Yeah, so it's a stat I've been looking into. This is my little baby that I'm trying to get people to acknowledge. I would love for this to get picked up and run with. What we do is we take out the team points because they do affect people score a lot, and we subtract the points they gave up. So if you got submitted, we'll say a kill. I remove 6 points from your plus minus, and then we average that against how many matches you had over the course of the year, basically deciding how many points we can expect from you per match this season. I've got every single athlete that got in there. We got a few alternates that are very upset because they came in for 1 or 2 matches, 3 matches, and got submitted a few times, and they have a really rough plus minus, but everybody listed. And I have to say, you could be surprised at where some of these guys land. We've got Davison Souza at 9 with a plus 0.4. To put that in context, you have Davis Asari ended out with a 0 plus minus. He broke even on the season with all his matches. So you've got guys like Davison Souza coming in off the bench doing very well.
Give me your top 3 right now.
Ryan Aiken has a plus 3.75. Marcin has plus 2.91. Kyle Bain has plus 2, and Paul Ardea with plus 1.41.
That's a good return on investment. We'll look more into that in the post show tonight, but we want to say thank you guys for catching out all the pre-shows. We will be back tonight for the post show. I want to thank these gentlemen, Matt Elkins, handsome Kevin Sherrill, and our good friend Jason Anik for dropping in to fill in for Tim tonight. Guys, don't go anywhere. The action is happening on UFC Fight Pass. After that, come back, see you boys over here. We're going to get you with official post-show action. We'll have the winners. We'll have all the great moments. Don't go anywhere. We love you guys. It's been a great day for grappling. We'll see you back on the mats.